I guess time traveling works different here. Episode 1 set the standard, and episode 2 just exceeded it. Our main character, he is changing fates, and apparently time traveling works different here, which is good because it makes things interesting. They're still sticking with the main plot, revenge. But before we get there, you gotta take a couple of little mini steps before you get to where you wanna be. But along the way, you're gonna see some familiar faces and maybe, changing some more fates along the way, which is definitely going to happen. So let's not beat around the bush, let's get to it. So the first thing I want to talk about is Hugh changing fates and seeing familiar faces. So at the beginning of the episode, Hugh is beating himself over the fact that he could not save his parents. But a moment later, we see both his mom and dad are still alive. So I'm gonna say it again, time traveling definitely works different here. Hugh was gonna check on the driver who in the previous life killed his parents in the same incident, apparently had died and was also drunk. Not only that, the drunk driver, is none other than Taesop's son. Hugh came to a conclusion that Taesop used his power to manipulate the truth in order to save his son. How about that? So here's the thing, they're still focusing on the main plot, revenge. But as of right now, he's not directly getting back at Taesop. He's sort of doing it indirectly by saving his parents, but at the same time affecting Taesop by having his son pass away. Dang. Hugh also met some familiar faces. Number one would have to be his bully, Jong-gil. To make a long story short, he kicked his butt, reported him, the chief prosecutor smacked him, and that's about it. Oh yeah, and also he had a fight scene with the bullies. Apparently he got to keep his fighting skills. Hugh also met with Gyori. Gyori was a student who was trying to get into law school, but in a previous life she fainted after an overdose on sleeping pills. She did get into law school, but she never had a chance to go. Now in a new life, Hugh saved her, brought her to the hospital, and now she's back on her feet, so props to that. Let's not forget that Hugh also took another part-time job helping Minsuk solve a case, which in a previous life lasted for 5 years. That's why Hugh got a big paycheck. Well, in cash, I should say. So now we see that Hugh is changing fates, not only for him, but for other people as well. Now I'm curious how that's going to affect everything in the long run. I mean, you never know. Today's friends could be tomorrow's enemies or vice versa. I mean, it's definitely keeping me on my toes. So now we're at the part where Hugh is finally in law school. While he's there, we do see some familiar faces and new faces as well. The first one would be Hia, the main girl character of the drama. Not much is known about her, other than she took 1 year off before going to college, and apparently Hugh, at one point in this episode, he said that Hia sounds familiar, but just doesn't remember her. I mean, we can guess on who she may be. I mean, it's still early at this point. She can be maybe an old girlfriend, probably not a wife, maybe a female version of him. You never know. The second character is Minsu. I think we can confidently say that he's going to be an ally to Hugh. Hugh just doesn't know where to place him in a previous life. To be honest, I don't know where to place him other than just being a new friend. And then we see Kangjin. According to Hugh, in a previous life, he is a scumbag politician. And also Ilhyun. He was the one in a previous life who got really angry at Hugh after he found out that Hugh wanted to investigate Taesop. So again, Hugh is definitely seeing some familiar faces. Whatever that they're gonna do, I know that Hugh is gonna try to prevent it. Either let it happen, but try to solve it in a different way, or prevent any events from happening and definitely changing the future. This is going to lead to the main question: how does all of the changes that he's going to make affect the future in long terms? And then we get towards the ending of the episode. Hugh was walking alone. He was walking a little bit drunk at the beginning, but then when the music started to play and things were starting to tense up, he was walking normally. And then he turns around and sees Dr. K, the same Dr. K who Hugh fought on top of the building in episode 1, and is also the same guy who threw Hugh off the building in episode 1. I don't even know if that's the same Dr. K from episode 1, or is it a younger version of him, or maybe it's the same case, you know, what they did with Lee Jun-gi to make him look younger. Maybe they applied the same thing on him. But yeah, Dr. K is here, and it looks like there's going to be another obstacle to overcome before he gets the Taeseo. Episode 2 was awesome. It was fun. I enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed every time that Hee-woo would recognize a familiar face, and we would be given a flashback to the type of person they would be in the future, or given a flashback of what they did in a previous life to Hee-woo. I love the relationship between Hanmi and Hee-woo. Now, I don't know if there's going to be a romance relationship. I don't think so. But for them to be like a back and forth type of friendship, I don't mind that. That could be really fun. I mean, Hanmi was looking through a door window at one point in the episode and saw Gyori talking to Hee-woo, and her facial reaction to that. Well, this is just me assuming. Is it jealousy? And yeah, I'm just gonna end it here. That's pretty much the gist of the episode and my review. If there's anything I might have missed, please leave it in the comments below. Leave in the comments below what you guys think about the drama so far. It's already 2 episodes down and I'm enjoying it. I love the storyline. I love the time traveling. I do love the fact that they added time traveling and the concept of certain events being fate. You know, it has to happen. I'm glad that it's being thrown out the window. You know what I mean? If he's gonna change some fates, let him change it, which does make things interesting because now you don't know what the future is gonna hold now that a certain event didn't happen. And also, don't forget to like this video, comment down below, and please subscribe. See ya.